What's up, guys? Let's talk about auction house PvP, because there is such a thing as auction house PvP, and it's a very unique, interesting thing. So economical PvP in Archeworld is interesting. Like, you're fighting over sales, you're fighting over, getting cheap products. So when you're trying to sell something, it's going to give you a couple of default ratings. So let's click on labor potion, and so you can see here, unit price, it's recommending that you sell it for 2.9 BSLT. The reason they're saying this is because the recent lowest listing that sold was 2.9. But this is a sneakily PvP battle going on here, because if you actually take a look at what is going on here, the lowest listed labor potion is currently 6 BSLT. So what this means is that someone is putting down one labor potion, selling it, and then trying to gobble up all and any cheap labor potions that fall victim to this quote-unquote scam or PvP attempt. So generally what they're doing is they're probably going to have a system set up where they sell one, lower the price, so now the default looks like it's really low, and then they go ahead and make a setting where they're like, okay, let's go 3 BSLT, and then labor potion, and like this. And so then they're probably going to macro this, and they're going to have it refreshing, instantaneously, and then they're going to have it purchasing, whatever's right here. So it's like boom, 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 boom. And so if anything ever pops up in this window, labor potion under 3 BSLT, they're going to instantaneously buy it pretty much, because they're going to have this macro set up. So some items do sell really cheap, and people that don't pay attention to the listing prices, to the actual lowest listing, will get screwed over by this. This does happen. You can see this happen with multiple different items as well. So Shadowgun Grand Crystal, same thing. This thing is 1.1 on the auction house right now, but no, if you actually go and look, these things, we have to take up this setting. So these things sell for 2.5. So you may be like, whoa, that's a huge difference. And you're right, that is a huge difference. There is another way that you can PvP in the auction house, and that's simply by buying up all of the items. So if we look at more of a high-end item, you can go ahead and buy all the items up. So there's a decent amount of these Shadowgun Arcane Crystals now, so it's going to be quite hard to buy all this up. But earlier on in the server's life, there was only like 2 or 3, so you could simply buy them all up and then relist them at a really higher price. So that's a form of monopolizing a certain type of item. That also can work. It is also very, very risky. Then you also have the other form of PvP that is world chat PvP, which is, hey, I want to sell this arcane crystal, or I want to sell this high-end item, and you advertise it in world chat, and then you say, give me offers. What do you want? So someone comes in and be like, I want to buy it for 200 BSLT. So you're like, oh, cool. We'll make that happen. We'll sell it on the auction house for 200 BSLT. Well, if the buyer actually does not really want to buy it for 200 BSLT, and you go ahead and list an item for 200 BSLT, you end up losing 10 gold. So as the item gets higher and higher in value, which when you're listing and advertising like that, the top end items can cost 100 gold. So it can get quite pricey if someone is, sneakily trying to make you list something for 100 gold, and then you're like, I don't have it, or, I have to sell items to get that. So in order to make gold, the easiest way is to sell the incomplete Archeum shards. And so to get 100 gold, that's about 6 BSLT. So there's a lot of different ways that people can PvP on the auction house. Another way we touched upon before is looking at all of the weapons and scouring the weapons for ones that have bonus stats that are green or blue, and then buying the cheap ones. So buying them, if you find a weapon that has a green or blue bonus stat, potentially buying it and then selling it for more. That is also a form of PvP, because you are, gaining an advantage off of someone else. Someone else had to sell this item on the auction house. So auction house PvP is very, very interesting. You have a lot of tabs. You have a lot of data in the background here. And you can see sometimes these weapons sell for 10 BSLT or 5 BSLT or 14 BSLT. And the reason they're selling that high is because they have good bonus stats. It also could be misclicks. There are errors, people buy items by mistakes. But generally, a basic weapon like this with no bonus stats that are, green or blue is going to sell for 1 BSLT. If it sells, it might not sell. The good ones, the good bonus stats, will actually sell for more occasionally. Not that many people want them. You can see if you look at the sales history, there was 11 sales, there was 6 sales, and most of the sales were 1 BSLT. And you can tell that by the same day average. So this one, 2.6 BSLT. And then today, there has been no sales. So let me know if you have any other PvP tips on the auction house. Is this your thing? Post it down below. Love to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching as always. Make sure that you get familiar with the auction house because there's so much in here. All these tabs. So this is the refresh button over here. So you click this, is going to refresh all of your settings. So if for some reason you type in labor potion and it's not coming up. So for some reason you type in labor potion, nothing comes up. Well, it's because one of your settings is screwing this up. And so right now we're in weapons. So by being in the weapons tab and we search labor potion, we're not going to find any labor potions in weapons because a labor potion is not a weapon. So if we take that tab off, then we'll see the labor potions. It's a lot simpler to just refresh all your tabs, click on this button over here, and then type in the item that you want. And you see labor potion. Go Archeum. Again, get familiar with the auction house because you'll be spending a ton of time here, especially if you're trying to earn BSLT. And all these different tabs, and you have settings here. Alright guys, thanks for watching. As always, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.